Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to RPG Horror Stories. And if you're wondering what that footage is in the background, I am running Melon Allegiance Amara over on Twitch. Feel free to drop in and check it out. It'll be on just a little bit after I put this video up. We started off good with a... You looked at death and got hurt. I was randomly reminded of this story today. This was from a while ago when I first started playing D&D. It was set in a homebrew world, and we were a party of 3 first-time players. Through circumstances I don't remember, I was granted a pair of binoculars. Binoculars gave me advantage on all sight-based perception checks. I was super excited about them because, well, they're binoculars. Who wouldn't be excited? They're fucking binoculars. Our characters were standing somewhere and noticed a weird scene on a far-off hill. My character, of course, took out her newly acquired binoculars to see what was happening. He asked me for a perception check and I rolled a natural 20. He then proceeds to describe how my character looks under the hood of one of the characters on the hill. That character, unbeknownst to me, was death itself. And as soon as my character saw his face, her binoculars broke, she suffered cold damage. Wait, why would you suffer cold damage? You should suffer necrotic for looking at death if you do suffer damage from looking at death. Then the DM starts laughing at me and says, "Why would you look at Death's face?" I didn't ask to look at his face, you dumb fuck. You narrated my character doing it. And then proceeded to laugh at me for an action he made my character do. Anyways, it was something that happened a long time ago, and I no longer talk to this person for various other reasons notwithstanding. I sometimes think back to the story, and I feel intense anger. I really liked those binoculars. Damn, I feel bad. Holy fuck. Yeah, no, dude, don't give a character binoculars and then force them to look an eldritch deity in a fucking face. That's a dick move, dude. And then you're, like, laughing at them. Why would you look death in the face? Dude, what the fuck? Chaos Incarnate constantly PvPs, dies by it, and tries to kill his player with his next character. Roll post. Last session, in short, devolved into player versus player combat, with one trying to kill 2 other characters. Frank, and kill Erwin and Veronica. Well, today at the start of the session, the DM messaged all of us on Discord about how we would like to proceed. He suggested Frank should make a new character, since character called Frank isn't really in speaking terms with Erwin and Veronica. Frank refused. Well, then the DM had a colonel of the rebel army both of his characters are part of to speak to them and basically say, "Cut the crap, there's a war going on." The campaign premise is that we're rebels in a revolutionary war-esque setting. Well, Frank is given the job to take a group of 100 NPCs and go make contact with independent pro-rebel militia and bring them guns and powder. Erwin has 30 NPCs of his own from his soldier background, and they're also coming. My character is a militiaman, so he's coming to see his old buddies. The rest of us are very civilian specialists, auxiliaries, contractors, etc., who are also coming. Right, so off we go, and it's going all well and good, until we come by an enemy company camped on a field. We suggest to go around them, since we're in a forest, undetected as of yet. But Frank says we need to kill them, since his character being a major with the army rebel controls the bulk of the NPCs. He and Erwin suppose we need to go help. Our residential murder hobo barbarian Phelan is also hyped to get to the fight. So we make a plan which, to simplify it, involves the bulk of the NPCs shooting at the enemies from cover of the forest, while a small group of NPCs go to the sides of the road. The enemies will retreat to and dig in there. Kill them as they come. It's approved by everyone. Me and Erwin and Phelan go with a small group, while Frank and Veronica stay with the main group. We're halfway through stealthing our way there when our enemy scout notices Frank et al. And they start shooting early. We just suppose the enemy will get away now. No. Since, due to range penalties, Frank and the NPCs fail to kill anything, and this frustrates Frank, so he runs out into the open. The enemy has dug themselves into cover, so they gain benefits of 3/4 cover. That is, +5 AC, putting them to 18. I'm really not sure if Frank is just sabotaging us on purpose by now, or if he does not simply grasp how cover works. Anyways, 100 dudes in 3/4 cover beats 100 dudes in the open. Balin and Erwin decide to rush the enemy from behind, shoot at point blank, and then go to melee in their behind in an attempt to salvage the situation. They and Erwin's NPCs do, and eventually, we subdue the enemy. However, even after Veronica spends her remaining spell slots to heal our ill-fortuned NPCs, we have 20 dead and 31 badly, grievously wounded. Erwin says that we need to go back, and I support his decision, since I can totally see this becoming a TPK if we go on further. Frank disagrees. He just wants to pick up from where we left. Erwin points out that we have a mere 23 NPCs left who could carry the gear we are supposed to deliver, and now the enemy is aware that we are here. 2 are needed to carry, each wounded. Everyone sighs, because we can just see this heading into another argument between Erwin and Frank. Frank says we'll just leave the wounded NPCs behind. Now Erwin has become very cool and sensible. Until this point, I guess you either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. He requests PvP against Frank and demands he accept because Erwin has accepted all PvPs that Frank himself has demanded. Our campaign requires mutual consent to PvP. I like that rule, OP. I really do. Erwin has his NPCs stab Frank to death. Frank protests because he agreed to PvP against Erwin, not his NPCs. Erwin says the NPCs are his background feature, hence an extension of his character. The GM rules in favor of Erwin and Frank is dead. We get back and Erwin reports Frank was killed by the enemy and nobody has a particular desire to correct this. Well, formerly Frank decides that he wants to roll a new character. Managed to do so mid-session, and our DM may be guilty overruling in favor of Erwin allows it. This bard called Melissa spends the rest of the session trying to kill Erwin in turn. Erwin declines every demand to PvP because it doesn't make sense for Melissa to hate someone that she has never met. Melissa in turn says she is the daughter of Frank and hates Erwin for that. Erwin sighs and accepts the PvP. She poisons his food, blows up a wagon of gunpowder next to him, tries to shoot him, and hires a group of thugs to stab him. Erwin survives, barely with luck, and Veronica's all healing spell slots. At the end of the session, after others have left, me and Veronica demand the Game Master kick Frank/Melissa for constant metagaming and non-stop PvP. We can hear this makes the DM nearly sob. He's just a bit too nice of a guy who doesn't want to make anyone sad, but he promised to consider it at least. I was originally going to go on a massive rant and everything, but no, listen. Here's what you gotta do, OP. If Frank/Melissa is not kicked from your table, you gotta play their own damn game against them. They want a PvP? Well, you've got a PvP, alright. They'll have the whole damn party against them. Be kinda hard to play when you're an asshole. That's my advice. Hey guys, listen, I just finished reading the next story. I just want to say that this person has dyslexia. I might not show the cards. There's a lot of bits where there's missing formatting. I had to wing it on a few pieces and pause, but I read it because I really feel like this is a story that needed to be read. So, just be mindful, alright? The GM has been constantly asking me out. I said no, and she tells everyone I'm dating her. She tries to kill my character. Hello once again, Reddit. As a pre-ever post, a reminder that I'm dyslexic, and there may be some spelling and grammar mistakes. Also, this is a long one. So this story takes place in 2020. I was at home pretty much for months on end, not being able to work. You can guess why, and because I had nothing to do, I started to look for some D&D groups to join, while I waited to work. While trying to find a game online, I found a group in need of a player. Sent a small message asking if I was able to join and what kind of world it would be. The game master got back to me a day later, saying that I could join. She would request that I play a healer, as the party did not have one, and they were all very squishy casters. I said sure, and made an Centaur War Cleric that was married, but his wife had died from a sickness while he was away. This matters later. The GM liked the idea and invited me to his Discord server to hop on a video chat to iron out some more of those details. Once I hopped on the call, and this was when her attitude shifted, she started to say how handsome I was, and how she enjoyed my accent. I'm an Aussie, so I have no idea what she's talking about. Now, the reason I didn't pick up on her hitting on me, or flirting, was one, that I hadn't really dated, and everything goes past my head romance-wise. And two, because she was from the South, and another one of my friends who's from there told me that women from the South can sometimes be very friendly with new people. So I just assumed that she was being nice and welcome to me. Over the weeks, she kept acting very friendly, asking how I was doing daily and what kind of stuff I do at the gym. I used to be a PT. Kept harassing me until one day when I met the others, which were a mix of characters. There was a rogue arcane trickster, another woman who was a huge murder hobo, but she was fun to play with, an ex-army vet who was playing a wizard, called him Captain because he was pretty much the leader, and lastly, the sorceress, whom was GM's younger sister. So, Session 1 for me comes around, and I'm sent to help the group in the war they are facing because my god sent me a dream of me riding into battle with a group of heroes. The first session goes well, and I am able to heal and protect the party so much as they gave me the new nicknames Atreyu, the Shield. And we all had a great time. However, I did start to feel like the GM gave me a bit too much of the limelight. But I thought at the time this was because I was the new player. She wanted to kind of give me a nice welcome. Over the next couple of sessions, this feeling didn't stop fighters. Made for my character to shine. Even after the loot we got was more in line of a warrior in close combat. It just kept going up to 5 sessions where the plot was put almost solely on me. As it turns out, my wife had come back to life because as a lesser vampire, some bullshit had awoken her from a rest. She played her as this sexual seducer that was nothing like her former self, so when she tried to seduce my character, mine just said, "No, you're not my wife. Not anymore. You're an abomination of your former self." I used Turn Undead, and we started to battle after killing my wife once again, and laying her to rest. After which I saw the GM was a bit upset. Later, I learned from her sister that she had planned to make this her new DM NPC, and wait for her to romance my character. Gross. After the game, on the 5th session, the GM messaged me asking if I was dating anyone. I told her no, because I was kind of working on myself since my last breakup. She then asked me if we could start dating. I told her that I was flattered, but I'm still working on myself. Too, you live in another country, and I've tried long distance in the past, and it didn't work. She seemed to get upset and a bit angry, but said I understand and sorry. I said there was nothing to be sorry about, and then asked if she wanted to give me some time, saying I wouldn't mind missing the next couple of sessions. She said no, it's fine, and said it happens to her all the time. I did feel bad for her, but at the time I wanted to be truthful rather than string her along. The next session happened, and it was a complete 180. All the fight, every monster started to come after me, which I didn't mind. I was a tank after all. Also, anytime there was a trap, I would somehow always fail while the rest made it. Also, a lot of the NPCs started to make subtle racist remarks about centaurs, and some bars where he was allowed before didn't allow him to go in. However, it was near the end of the worst where we were battling the vampire that awoke my wife. Now, this vampire was CR13. The party was all at level 8, and we didn't know how much of a big battle this was going to be. Near the end of it, where pretty much the whole party and myself were like right at death's door, I was pretty much at 10 HP at this point, and she rolls and gets a 10, brings her up to 19. She then loses the roll and rolls damage, getting 30. It's a mess. I told her my AC is 22. How does it hit? And with venom in her eyes and vitriol in her veins, says, well, I guess it doesn't. At the time, got really upset. And in the next turn order, we were able to kill the monster, mainly because I used the spell Daylight. After the session, all of the players in the call felt very, very uncomfortable, and some of them left the call. Later on, I got a message from Captain asking me if me and GM had broken up. I told him that I wasn't even dating her, and sent him a message of our convo about her asking me out. Captain was shocked, and then sent back a message from his DMs where GM had been talking to Captain about us dating and how I had video chatted with her naked. I then did a kind of asshole move, which I kind of regret doing rather than just leaving. I posted in the main channel asking why she said this to the Captain, showing all the images that he had taken from her DMs. Her sister and the rogue also posted images of their private chats where it said I was dating her. The game master got pissed and started messaging in the chat, saying how if I was a real man, I would have dated her, and how it was a man's duty and job to do what she said, and would give her whatever she wants. All of us got really upset with this, and the game master's sister sent this to her mother, who got really upset with her, and took the computer away. I then left the server and kept in touch with the Captain and Rogue, but yeah, that's the story. I hope you guys get some enjoyment out of it. God, this is dreadful. You don't use Dungeons & Dragons as a matchmaking service. This is a bad idea. It never fucking works. Listen. Dungeons & Dragons is not Tinder. You want the good fuck, you go to Tinder. If you want to kill monsters and just nerd out, have a good time, then you go to Dungeons & Dragons. If romance happens in Dungeons & Dragons, 100% it has to be organic, and I can almost guarantee you that if a player is romancing another player's character and it is a mutual romance, there's probably also something going on between the two players. It's never going to work out otherwise. I've never seen it work out. I've never heard of it working out otherwise. It has only ever been actual fucking romance between the two people behind the players. It is leaking into the game and creating a very much better narrative because it's organic. You can't just fucking do this. This is gross. It is gross. It is an egregious abuse of your power as a DM. God, I hate this. Thank you everybody for watching. Much love. Stay sexy. And I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.